Here we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. Two spheres have radii in the ratio 12 to 13. The difference in their surface area is 400 pi square inches. If the volume of the smaller sphere can be written as a V pi, what is the value of V? Okay, our aim is to get the volume of the smaller sphere so that we'll be able to get the value of this V. Okay, now let me consider the radius of the smaller sphere as X and the radius of the larger sphere as Y. Then, according to this information, there is a ratio of the radii of two spaces 12 to 13. It can be written as x over y equals to 12 over 13. And also, we have another information, that is the difference in their surface area is 400 pi. We know that the formula to get surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r square. Okay, now to get the surface area of the smaller sphere, we have to plug in this x for r over here. And to get the surface area of the larger sphere, we have to plug in this y for r over here. Okay, now let me get the surface area of the larger sphere. Then we have 4 pi. For radius, we have to plug in this y. Then we get 4 pi y square. Now let me get the surface area of the smaller sphere. Again, I have to use the same formula. Instead of r, I have to plug in x. That is 4 pi x square. Now let me consider the information we have over here. That is the difference in the surface area is 400 pi. Here the difference is a positive value. Since the difference is a positive value, we have to subtract the smaller value from the larger value. That is, we have to subtract the surface area of the smaller sphere from the surface area of the larger sphere. When I do so, it will give the given difference. That is 400 pi. Now we have to solve for x in this system of equations using Desmos, because x gives the radius of the smaller sphere. Once we get the radius of the smaller sphere, we can get the volume of the smaller sphere. Okay, now let me give these two equations as input in Desmos. So that is x divided by y equals to 12 divided by 13. Okay, now let me take the second equation as input. That is 4 times pi times y square negative 4 times pi times x square equals to 400 pi. Okay, now we have the graph over here, and the graphs of two equations intersect at 2 points. One is over here, but at this point of intersection, both the x coordinate and y coordinate are negative. But that's not possible, because the x coordinate gives the radius of the smaller sphere and y coordinate gives the radius of the larger sphere. That's not possible. Okay, now let's consider the other point of intersection where we get both the x coordinate and y coordinate are positive. Okay, here at this point of intersection, both the x and y coordinates are positive, but we need only the x coordinate, that is 24. That is the radius of the smaller sphere. Okay, here the radius of the smaller sphere equals to 24. Okay, we know that the volume of a sphere equals to, the formula is 4 over 3 times pi r cube. Okay, here 4 over 3 times pi. And for r, that is for radius, we can plug in this value 24. Then we get 24 to the third power. We can use Desmos to get the product of these two numbers. Okay, let me give these two numbers as input over here. That is 4 over 3 times 24 raised to the power of 3. Okay, I am getting 18,432. That is a product of this one, and this one is 18,432. Okay, let me write over here 18,432, and we can take this pi along with that. Okay, here I got the volume of the smaller sphere, but already we have the volume of the smaller sphere in the question, that is V pi. So this V pi and this 18,432 pi, both of them represent the same stuff, volume of a smaller sphere. At the place of V, we have 18,432. Therefore, the value of V is 18,432.